intro medley, which
Oh,
obviously,
love it,
yeah.
man.
Well, I'm glad you loved it, even if you couldn't
Yeah,
hear it.
I wish I could have heard it. That sounds
Yeah,
awesome.
that, being a radio guy, we get to do a lot of fancy stuff and make it sound really cool. But I don't know what the deal is. Have no idea. But
Okay.
Walker Hayes is with us here tonight. It's Deb Lamphear from the official Country Music Club fan club.
Mhm.
Skip Clark from 92.1 The Wolf in Syracuse, the PD, an afternoon guy, and the guy that does the Skip Happens podcast. So, Walker, what's going on, dude? How are you?
Man, I'm great. I'm actually in Portland, Maine tonight, and it's our
Mhm.
second week of the Glad You're Here arena tour.
Yeah,
So my mind is just blown, man. I'm truly am just trying to process the fact that I'm doing arenas, you know?
that is so
Wow.
cool. And what a change from I know you were in Nashville for a long time. And
Yeah.
I know you meet a lot of people, you see a lot of people. And I can remember a few years ago at the country radio seminar, and we had a little chit chat, and you were saying something about you were living out of a van, you had the 6 kids, you had this, you had that. I'm going, damn, how are you doing this? But then
Yeah.
you were fighting it, you were doing it, you were doing something that you love, and then Fancy Like popped, and your life changed.
Yeah. Yeah. I had always been told, all it takes is one. People had told me that for forever. And at by the time I got to Fancy Like, man, I'd written at least 1,000 songs, and I couldn't get anybody to cut them. And anything that I performed myself, it only had very limited success. So, but back to what you were saying. I mean, I didn't really have this in mind, Skip. I mean,
Mm.
it's not like I always was like, hey, one day kids, or it's not like I told Lainey, hey, one day I'm gonna be selling out arenas. I just I really do, man. I'm passionate about music, and it doesn't really matter what my circumstances are. It's the best way I know how to express myself. And so, I think that was God's gift to me.
Mm-hmm.
Was just that whether I was living, in our car or what, I just wanted to write a song about it. And I know to some people that sounds crazy, but I know it doesn't sound crazy to people in radio. I mean, y'all, I'm sure you felt the same way.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
going to be in radio, and it never made sense to anybody around, and so, but man, we're grateful. I mean, Fancy Like, it just opened, it just blew the wall down. I mean, it's insane what I'm able to bring my family out on the road.
Mhm.
I have 6 kids. My
Mm-hmm.
wife Lainey, our 2 dogs, they go everywhere. Every single place I go, they go with me. So I never have to tell them goodbye. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's a sweet season for us. And I know, it's not going to last forever, and but it sure is good right now.
That's awesome. I have to ask, how is life
Yes,
on
sir.
the tour
Mhm.
bus with 8 of you?
Man, it's,
And the
I
dogs.
try to describe, yeah, I try to describe it to people. It's never not chaotic.
Mhm.
It's just, when you get up to go to the bathroom, you got to step over a dog, and then there's probably a kid in there already, and you got to wait for them. And so
Mhm.
it's honestly, it's really close community, and it's not easy by any means, but it's way better than being out here alone. And man, it's just worth it. I mean, we make memories every day that are
Mhm.
Mhm.
just so great. And I wouldn't want it any other way. And honestly, I've seen the top of the mountain, and I've
Mhm.
seen way, way, way down. And I can I don't really care about either destination. destination. I know it's about being around people you love. And right now my team is incredible, their family, and I got my, I see my sons and daughters every day. So
I love that.
till they got to leave the house, we get to hang out.
To get
And
outside, I mean,
they don't mind being,
go ahead.
sorry. No, I was just curious. They don't mind packing up and being on the road. Like how old, what are their age ranges? I forget from oldest.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. My oldest daughter is 16 and and then I have a 15, a 13 and an 11-year-old boy. And then I have a 9 and a 7-year-old little girl. And they sacrifice a lot, to be a family unit. It's not, I don't take it for granted. None of them are able to do sports. They're not able to commit to any extracurricular activities. They've never been to school. They've all homeschooled their entire lives because we just wanted them to be able to stay up every night, that I had a show and hang out, and see me. And I'm so grateful that we chose that. And I'm so grateful that, I mean, they have a choice now, and I'm so grateful they continue this way. Cause I mean, otherwise I really wouldn't see them, and honestly, this is the only way I know how to provide for my family. I mean, I can't use a computer. I don't know how to work Excel. I'm terrible on the phone. I'm not a great salesman. Like, I just write songs, man.
And that's what
we
you
need.
do the
We
best.
need our kids just to do those things.
Yeah.
Sorry, Skip. Go ahead.
No. And talking about that, we talk about our kids, but like TikTok with Fancy Like, of course, I'm sure you've told this story over and over and over again, but it went on the platform. Somebody had to show you how to do that, and then it took off.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's hard to get to honestly explain. I don't think people believe me, but you know, I enjoy TikTok and I love TikTok, but really what TikTok was useful for me for is it was a way to dive into my daughter's life. I mean, she was familiar with that world, and honestly, with each of my kids, I look for something that they do that I don't, and I dive in. Like my son, my 13-year-old son's into anime, and I've watched every episode of Demon Slayer, of Naruto, of everything. And I don't look, I'm not telling you I love it. I just go there because he loves it and I want to know what he loves. So TikTok over COVID, every day it was like, hey Leela, let's do a dance, and that was our time together. And still to this day, that remains the most fun thing about TikTok is making one. You can put it out there or whatever, and if you care how many views it gets, that's awesome. But when you're with a friend and you're trying to learn that dance and you're helping each other, and then you video it and one of you messes up and you got to start over, it's an absolute blast. So really, a lot of people are like, I think it's hard for them to fathom that I didn't try to cultivate what happened. It completely blindsided all of us. I mean, Leela and I have done a billion dances and none of them did whatever that. For some reason, that just was magic,
Did you guys, I don't recall, did you guys create that dance or did someone do that for you?
Oh no, we create all of them. We didn't. I mean, I couldn't have afforded a choreographer when we did Fancy Life. I mean, we were coming out of COVID. I mean, I had 430 something days without a show, and we had a new EP coming out, and Leela just said, "Dad, let's make up a dance to Fancy Like," and I'm talking about just. Nobody predicted that.
I got goosebumps. She must be so proud to know that she was able to contribute to that.
Yeah, she and I talk about it a lot, and you can't humanly understand what went on. I try to tell Leela, and she tries to tell me, and we'll have this forever. But I mean, it truly was that was just me. I mean, we got home from church and a dad and his daughter just did something silly, and it went around the world. I mean, and it's still, what's crazy is like, I mean, I've got new songs that are popping off, but I'll
Right.
still get the occasional like, where, you know, I just found Fancy Like, you know, it won't go away. It's like, I don't know what's like, I don't know how you haven't heard it yet, but there are people still being exposed to this dance and the song, and it's
Yeah.
crazy.
You know, I want to say, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but I'm tired of the song. But
Yeah. Yeah.
no, Walker. And what I'm saying is, then it'll come on, and I'm singing it, and I'm kind of
Yeah.
doing a little bit of a dance and fancy
Yeah.
like, you know, it's just so it's a good thing. So I'm really not sick of it, because if I was, I mean, it'd be like, you know,
Yeah.
but it's not that way. So hopefully that made sense
No,
what I said, but you know what I mean.
no, I'm the same way. It is everywhere. I mean, I'll be
Mhm.
walking through Walmart and I'll be like, "Good Lord, there it is!" Like, you can't get away. And I completely understand your sentiment. I mean, genuinely. I mean, look, man, if the song went away tomorrow, I'm fine. It is done. It is taking care of my family for a really long time. Like
Mhm.
that, we'll be good. But I'm with you. It comes on, and I'm like, really, guys, y'all want to play this? And then about 40 seconds in, I find myself just singing
Exactly.
along, and I'm with you there.
It'll never go away. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Let's talk about what else is going
Yeah,
on, Walker, really quick. You got Y'all Life out. Tell us a little bit about that. I know your label rep, Glenn, we had time together here not too long ago, and he gave me a little sneak peek at the video. And of course, now we're on the
yeah.
song as well. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so growing up, I grew up in just a strip mall town, Mobile, Alabama,
Hmm.
and man, it's a very unique state. Nobody cares about anything but college football. And I mean, that's it. Like, you're Alabama or you're Auburn, and did you go to church? That's it.
Hmm.
I mean, it
Hmm.
is Bible Belt, college football. That's all. And man, I loved living there. And I'm a Bama fan, and I love football
Bama.
season. My kids, my wife, we all desire. I mean, we cannot wait for football season, and it's just a part of our life. And I also grew up, and I think a lot of people can relate to this, but just I learned how to double Dutch at Municipal Park. There was an
Hmm.
ice cream truck there. There were neighbors who left their Christmas blow ups way too long, out in the yard. Every prom night, we went to Olive Garden. Like, that was the nice
Hmm.
restaurant. So, but man, I just tell the truth in my songs. And this one, it just had a great energy. And I mean, the day I wrote it, I knew I wanted to drop it during football season and take a little ride on it.
Yeah, I love the video. Love the video.
Yeah, yeah, the very, very Friday Night Lights. That's kind of what we
Exactly.
copied. And we actually have a new version of Y'all Life. If anybody is a Sierra fan, she did a verse on it, and we're putting that out soon. And I think we're actually debuting it at the CMT Artist of the Year
Yes.
Awards.
Hmm.
She's gonna do it with us, and so that's cool.
Yeah, and you are, by the way, I don't know who, if you know this or not. I know you do, but maybe somebody watching this or even after the fact, that you are one of CMT's Artist of the Year. You are one of
Yeah,
those. Dude, that's
that's
so awesome.
that's crazy. Yeah, they are. I love CMT. CMT for me, they've always been an establishment that I never felt like they're looking left or right, at what anyone else is doing. They just follow and assist artists like me. So I couldn't be more grateful to be on that list.
Well, you deserve it right at the top. Can I ask, with the CMAs last time around, how hard was it? You did Fancy Like at the CMAs, but it
Yeah,
seemed like, we're watching it from our living rooms, but it was all kind of in different places inside
yeah.
the arena. Was that hard to do?
Yeah, was that the one where I walked down the stairs?
Yes, yes. You
Good
walked down the
Lord.
stairs, and then I think you went to the
Yeah.
other end of the arena.
Yeah, I have never been so excited to be done with a song. I think I did like half of AA, and then I did all of Fancy Like. And man, when I put that mic down, I gave my wife the biggest hug, and I
Mhm.
was so glad to be done. I mean, I was gassed. I was out of breath. And I was just trying to give everybody I could a high five, and it
Yes,
was kind of a stressful performance. But when I watched it, it looked a lot better than it felt. It
it
was
looked
just,
Oh,
great,
it was
Walker. It looked
pretty
yeah.
great.
overwhelming.
Yeah, it looked great. And by the way, AA, what a song. There you go. That's the follow-up
That's
to
another
Fancy
one.
Like. And it
Yeah.
was just like, my wife listens to that every day. I mean, of course, it's still in a regular
Yeah,
rotation, and it's like she absolutely loves that song. You've hit on
that's
you're
awesome,
onto something good here, dude. I'm just saying,
Mm-hmm.
with everything, and
man.
you've turned this corner. It
Yeah, it feels like we've kind of found our stride and our lane, which I think it's a hard thing to do, man. It's some people can put out music that works, but it doesn't sustain, like
Mm-hmm.
keep going. People don't care, but they
Mhm,
like this. And then you know there's these underground artists, that just can't seem to get
mhm,
like past little humps. And this for me, this feels like maybe we've just found where we belong,
mhm, mhm.
sonic wise and writing wise. I'm always improving as a writer, but I'm most definitely proud of these songs we're able to release right now, and I'm so grateful I just get to tell the truth,
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely,
and
absolutely.
I love that. I love what I do.
Yeah. Let
How
me
oh,
No, go
quick
ahead, Deb. I'm
question.
sorry.
How long were you basically a struggling artist before this all hit for you?
Yeah, I mean, I was a struggling artist uh, for. I had my first top 10 country song called "You Broke Up with Me"
Mm-hmm.
in 2017 or 18, maybe,
Okay.
but it did not really. We weren't able to follow it up,
Mm-hmm.
and so. But I moved here in '04, so I mean,
Oh
I've
wow.
spent more than three
Mhm.
quarters of my career.
Yeah.
A lot of people saying, "Well, what have you written that I've heard?" And I'm like, nothing. um, but man, that's okay. Because
Yeah.
Mhm,
honestly, so what? People have
Mm-hmm.
heard of me now, but it doesn't change anything that matters. I mean, I can obviously buy food and clothes for my kids, but
mhm,
my favorite song is still the one I wrote today, and I can't wait to release it. And so yeah, I've learned a lot about myself with this success and stuff. And just for all the dreamers out there,
Right.
enjoy
mhm,
chasing the dream, because when you catch it, it
mhm,
really, sadly, doesn't really do anything substantial for you. You
mhm.
still. I just wrote a song called "Six String American Dream," and it says, I'm the six string American dream, but I still wake up sad. I still need Jesus, and I still miss my
Wow.
dad. And it
Wow.
just,
Wow.
It's very
yeah, it's
true
just it's
though.
it's
Yeah.
it's very honest. I think a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people
Mhm,
in my shoes, we probably started doing this because we needed to fill a void. We wanted some type of affirmation or something, and now I truly just do it because I love it. But being famous didn't fix anything, if that
no.
makes sense.
Yeah. If I could ask, what with the family, how do they accept the fame? How has things changed for them, and are they accepting to it? And how's all that going? Because obviously
Yeah,
it's not
it's
what it was years ago. It's different now.
right. Well, I mean, I think fame kind of gives you a there's this temptation that arises to kind of buy into it, like to really
Mm-hmm.
to go, oh, yeah, I'm
Mhm.
famous, you know, I'm a star, you know, and I notice about myself that I don't like that side of me, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and my family helps me stay grounded, and we all kind of help each other, you know. I mean, we as a
Cool.
family, it awakens like this narcissistic part of us, you know, but really you don't have to buy into that. You know, you can just realize,
Right.
you know, that people
Correct.
so people appreciate what we do, and the media kind of makes people famous, and people take your picture or whatever, but we're the same
Mhm.
people. I'm no different,
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
you know, and so I try to remember those things.
Yeah. And how is that when you go out to, like, you got to go get groceries or you're going to run to the
Yeah,
mall?
Mhm.
How is that? I mean, people must recognize you now,
yeah,
and they must
yeah,
want
you know,
pictures.
yeah, no, they do. And honestly, I mean, you, I know, this sounds simple and maybe dumb, but you guys, I've been dying for just some work for a long time. And
Mhm.
the way I see is if there's somebody on the cereal aisle that recognizes me and wants a picture, I mean, that means I'm all right, you know. That
Yes.
means
Yeah.
somebody out there is listening, and I don't write these songs to listen to them myself, you know.
That's right. They're for
And
Exactly.
us.
so
Yay.
yeah, and so I am so grateful uh to get recognized, and honestly, man, pretty much 100% of the time it's somebody thanking me, you know, or
Hmm.
you know,
Hmm.
Mhm.
saying thank you for writing about AA, or thank you
Hmm.
for this song, or thank you for this song. You know, I mean, fancy, like, even this one lady, I'll never forget this. I you know, I until this day, I thought, you know, fancy like's a fun song. I'm glad everybody thinks it's a hit. You know, that's
Hmm.
awesome.
Hmm.
But this lady told me that the last memory she had of her daughter, her teenage daughter, died in a car wreck, and that the last memory she had with her daughter was them, you know, doing the dance, you know,
Oh man.
Aw.
together.
Yeah.
And it made me think, wow, you know,
Mhm.
teenagers are tough. You know, it's hard to
Yep.
get a moment, you know, with
Mhm.
Leela. You know, I find that a lot of times I'm trying to teach Leela something, and it's tough to just
Hmm.
hang with her. And I crumbled, man. I just was like, you know, who am I
Exactly.
that I got to be a part of a song that is a woman's final memory of her
Well, that
little
means a
girl?
lot.
I mean, that's,
Mhm.
yeah, it was crazy. And
Yep.
so that was sad and beautiful and just all the things. And so anybody that, you know, finds my music helpful, or my family, I'm just I'm blown away,
You know, you're
to
so
tell you
down to
quite
earth,
honestly.
so
Mhm.
humble. Walker Hayes is just, there needs to be more like you.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
Well,
Yes.
you know, the
I've been
country. Oh, go ahead.
it our journey, man, has really, it's tossed us around, you know,
Mhm.
and but it's I love what we've learned through it all, and we don't take any of it for granted. And honestly, man, I mean, a lot of people in country music, they get it, you know. I mean, it's not an
It's not
easy
an easy
business. It's
road. No, it's
yeah,
very
it's
hard.
hard to it's hard to do this business for 5, 10,
Mhm.
15 years,
Hmm.
and still wake up thinking you're really awesome. You know.
Well, look at you have a whole career ahead of you now. Your struggles, you've already struggled enough. So now we're going to flip
Ah,
it
Hmm.
around, and now you're up on the good side there, and you'll have the next 20 years of good wishes there.
And we're going to have a
So,
big party at Walker's house at the country radio seminar that's coming up early March.
okay.
So I'm just
let's
saying. He
go.
doesn't
Everybody
know it
come to my
yet,
house.
but
Yeah.
no. Do you know John Griffin? Because John
Huh?
says, Walker, I wrote with you many, many years ago. Is it too late to finish that song?
Ah, that's funny. Maybe me and old John need to finish something.
Yeah. And then John asked, do you eat free at Applebee's for life?
John, I do. And now to this day, it's one of my proudest achievements is I have a gold card.
I
So
love it.
I do get Applebee's for life.
Wow.
I love that. You know, Walker Hayes, thank you for spending just about a half hour with us. I know, as you mentioned
Hey,
in the
thank
beginning,
y'all.
you're in Portland. You're on tour. The tour kicked off just a few days ago, and you're out. I mean, you're doing your thing. You're selling out arenas now, which is, 10 years ago that would not be happening. You've done it. You've made it. You're so humble. You're a star. We love you. People like you make my job easy as a radio programmer, because when I see a Walker Hayes song come across, I'm not going to say this too loud because I know Glenn's probably listening, but when I see a Walker Hayes song come across my desk, it's like, I have to listen to this. This is going to be good. So
it's going to be good no matter what.
Exactly.
Thank you, guys.
So hopefully we'll see you in the Northeast here pretty soon.
Yeah, I hope so. I know we're headed out there soon. My kids are actually excited about that because I love that area and they've never seen it. So we're all going to be doing it together.
That's awesome.
Even if you're here in the winter, I'm not sure. I'll have to check your schedule. But even if you're here in the winter, the winters are gorgeous. We'll say there's a lot to do.
No, we love snow.
Awesome. You know what it's about. All right, Walker, we're going to let you go, but thanks for spending a half hour on Skip Happens, finding out about you. Y'all Life is the new single. You can go to Walker's website. I'm sure you can just Google it. Google Walker Hayes. It'll come up for you. And for those of you watching, Skip Happens is on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. And Deb, you want to give your digits?
Yep. Follow us at the official Country Music Fan Club on Facebook and Instagram, and we will be promoting and supporting all of our country artists, their entire journey from beginning on through. So Walker will be looking for your new music all the time.
Walker, knock him dead tonight. We'll knock him dead, brother.
Yeah. Have a great show.
Good talking to y'all. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Peace out, my friend. Be good.
Have a good night.
Good.
We're still live. We are still live.
And that was a fun interview, Deb.
Yes.
I know Walker had to sign off really quick because he's in Portland, Maine, as we mentioned just a minute ago. And you know what? At 7:30, it would be his meet and greet. So it's 7:33 now. So I can just picture him running off his bus and running over to the tent.
They do have a very rigid schedule, as we are well aware, when they're on the road. So we have to abide by that.
Deb Lamphear, it's awesome to see you, as always, in the Country Music Fan Club, even though I'm all nasally tonight because, don't tell anybody, but I did not work today. So,
I'm not going to tell everyone. We're just going to tell all our viewers that you didn't work today.
But see, I'm in my home studio here, so it's good to Skip Happens. Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you check out the Country Music Fan Club. Make sure you check out Skip Happens. And we'll see you next week. We got more big artists coming up. And just keep an eye on our Facebook pages. Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night. Bye.